1. A Prince of the East Bronx. Goldie Getz was so exhausted she could not scream any more. She was into her 35th hour of labor, and she was weakening, and the doctor felt that he had to intervene to save her and the child. But first he wanted to talk to Al, her husband. "I'm going to have to go in with forceps, or I could lose both of them, your wife and the baby. I wanted you to know about it, using the forceps." Yes, anything," Al mumbled. When they arrived at the hospital 2 days before, he was light-hearted. But the hours of waiting had worn him down, and now he was sick with fear. His thoughts about Goldie were constantly jostled by the recollection of that awful day 9.5 years before, when they told him that his mother Becky had died giving birth to his brother Benny. Al felt a little sicker every time he thought about his mother lying there helplessly, bleeding to death. The doctor worked furiously, and in less than an hour, on the morning of February 2nd, 1927, delivered Goldie of a baby boy, Stanley. Goldie was fine, but the baby had suffered a bloody mishap. His head was so large that the forceps had almost torn off one of his ears, and the doctor had to use sutures to reattach it. A week later, as they were about to leave the hospital, St. Vincent's in Philadelphia, the cashier told Al, "Your wife and son can go, but you can't leave until you pay us $52 for reattaching that ear." "$52? That's too much." "You can keep 'em," Al quipped before paying the bill. Stanley was greeted as someone special by both the Getzes and Goldie's family, the Ampolskys, because he was the firstborn grandchild in either clan and a male. His younger brother Bob described the impact of his arrival. "It was a big event when Stan was born. They came from all around, and Stan lived up to being the crown prince, the shining prince of both entire families." Both the Getzes and the Ampolskys had left the Kiev area in the Ukraine in 1903, reacting as Jews to the virulent pogroms of that time. They did not know each other in the old country, and they followed different paths to Philadelphia, their American destination. Al's father, Harris Gayetzkis, and Harris's wife, Becky, struggled across Europe, taking odd jobs to earn their way westward. They finally made it to London, where they lived in the Whitechapel district, and where Harris owned a small tailoring shop. Al, named Alexander Cecil, was their first child, born in London on July 24, 1904. He was followed in London by Phil, named Pincus, in 1906, and another boy, born in 1908, who died during an epidemic in 1912. Harris had 2 brothers and a sister who were prospering in Philadelphia, and they convinced him to join them there. He tried to obtain passage on the maiden voyage of the Titanic in 1912, but fortunately he could not get a booking on that unsinkable liner. He brought his family to America on another ship in 1914. Harris settled in one of a row of 4 houses built by a brother in West Philadelphia, then a burgeoning neighborhood being filled by a growing middle class. His brother's house flanked his, and other family members lived nearby. Harris made a good living as a tailor and designer of women's clothing in New York, the center of the garment industry. He was earning $100 per week as early as 1924, considerably more than he could have made in Philadelphia. He never moved to New York, however, because he enjoyed living close to his kinfolk. He traveled between the 2 cities by train, staying in a New York rooming house from Monday to Friday and coming home for the weekends. All members of the family shortened their name from Gayetzkis to Getz on arriving in America. One of Harris's brothers, Nathan, subsequently made another switch. To obtain a job with the Third Avenue Elevated Railway Company in Manhattan, an organization not partial to Jews, he changed Getz to Harris. Nathan's son became a doctor, which prompted Stan's Uncle Benny to say, "We finally attained the dream of every Jewish family, a doctor. And he doesn't even have our name."
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.